Today on Valentine's Day, we celebrate love, romance, flowers, candy, and we just let Cupid shoot us with his arrow of love, and we embrace our partners with love and affection and attention. But for some on Valentine's Day, it is very significant for abusers and people that are obsessed. Abusers often choose this day to unleash their obsession on the person they are obsessed with. Not all people choose love on Valentine's Day. Some choose murder. Let's find out right now. Happy Wicked Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. It's me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrollton, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. Hope after this video that y'all like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press on that notification button so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. I hope y'all have a beverage. I hope y'all have a snuggle partner or a snuggle fur partner. Those are the best. And y'all are ready to hear a crime story from yours truly. And happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Are y'all having a great night? Are y'all having a great day? Tell me about y'all plans in the comments down below. What did y'all get? You know what I like? And I'm just going to put this out there right now. And maybe it'll be a hint for my man. I like when my man and my kids make me things. That is something I like. I like to have handmade things because it looks like it comes from the heart. Because you know what my man does, and probably my kids as well? They go that afternoon, they give me a Valentine cards and like a gift card somewhere, which I totally appreciate. But sometimes a girl just wants something that's handmade, like a card. That takes time and effort. You know what I mean? But I hope that y'all having a great day so far and y'all ready to hear a story with me, the Cajun Crime Queen. Today we're working on a case that has a lot of meaning to me, and my heart went out to this person tremendously because she was a victim of domestic violence. She was a victim of emotional abuse, and it is very heartbreaking. And I don't know if y'all know or may not know, I am a victim of domestic violence, and one day I will get into that with y'all. But today we are going to discuss the case of Dr. Amie Harwick, and this case hits home for me and hits home for a lot of people I have seen. Dr. Amie Harwick was born on May 20th, 1981 in Pennsylvania. She was adopted by Tom and Penny Harwick. Amie moved to California after high school. She earned her BA, her MA, and her PhD. She was also a Playboy model, a go-go dancer, and finally, her big girl job was a family therapist in Hollywood. Amie appeared on podcasts, TV, and YouTube. She also wrote a book, The New Sex Bible for Women, in 2014. Y'all, this girl was doing her thing. She was absolutely doing her thing. She was a gorgeous, gorgeous woman living her life. She did everything perfectly. She got all these degrees. She was, doing Playboy. She was a go-go dancer, paid for all of her schooling cash, and then went on to have her PhD and family therapist, to write a book. Just all of these accomplishments for this girl, not even 40 years old. She was absolutely stunning and amazing. Amie had several high-profile relationships, such as Marilyn Manson and Dave Navarro. She also dated a man named Gareth Pursehouse. They dated for about 2 years, and Gareth was a photographer and a computer guy. He was very savvy with computers. Amie had several male friends, just like me. I definitely have more male friends than female friends, but Gareth was the type of person that wanted everybody in the room to know that Amie was his. She could be talking to people, then all of a sudden he starts kissing her, like trying to put his tongue down her throat, and she's kind of backing up like, wait, what are you doing? Because he wanted everybody to know she's mine and you can't have her. Well, they broke up. They had a lot of issues, but after they broke up, Gareth just wouldn't leave Amie alone. He couldn't just shade the fact that they were no longer together. They were not going to be together. And in 2012, Amie applied for this job at a prison, a job that she really wanted and she looked forward to in this prison. But someone, I'm guessing Gareth, there's no proof, someone sent nude photos of Amie to the prison, causing her to lose that job, which I think is horrible. I think that Embracing our body is wonderful, and I'm all for Playboy. I'm all for showing how sexy and beautiful we are, and loving the way we look and the way we are, no matter what size we are. But sometimes our past creeps up on us, and it happens all the time. All the time. Just like me, I was a Hooter girl for several years. I was in bikini contests. I did calendars. I did photo shoots in bikinis. And now I have my big girl job. You know, I went to college and I'm a marketer. And every day I went from wearing Hooter uniforms, bikinis, to dresses, suits, high heels, walking around, embracing my job. But we all did things in the past that we had fun with. We were young, we were living it up, we were kids basically. And it's kind of sad that a lot of times our past will creep up on us, but it shouldn't hurt us. We did it in the past and it just happened. But I think that Gareth is the one that sent these nude photos to the prison for Amie to lose her job. In 2017, Amie had a birthday party, and Marilyn Manson was supposed to take her out to eat that night and show up for her birthday party. Well, he didn't show up. Amie was done, and I agree. If you're not even going to show up for a date, especially on my birthday, done, blocked, phone number in the trash can, we're done. Maybe if I was 18, I would, listen to an excuse. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do not settle for that type of person. If they don't show up for your birthday or they stand you up on a date, no. But guess who was there the night of her birthday party? Drew Carey. Now, we all know Drew Carey. Drew Carey is the host of Price is Right. He had his own show. He's a comedian. And he asked Amie on a date to Disneyland. How romantic is that? That sounds so sweet and loving. If a man told me, hey, you want to go on a date, and brought me to Disneyland, my inner child would probably come out, because I know how excited I would be, because that's an awesome date. How fun. And you get to experience so many things. And 2 weeks later, Drew took Amie and like 8 of her friends to Disneyland and told one of Amie's friends, I'm going to marry her one day, which is delicious. I think that's just wonderful. Drew and Amie moved in together not long after they started dating, and Drew actually proposed to Amie in Paris just a couple of months after they started dating, and it was just wonderful. But Amie received a lot of negative feedback, and trust me, I know how that is, because there was a 23 age gap between Amie and Drew. Now, a lot of people do think, well, they're a gold digger, or they just want access, because when you're dating a celebrity, it comes with access. You meet all of these people that can boost your career, or, get you into certain places that can help you. I mean, you just never know. But in my opinion, older men are much better, but that's just my opinion. I think Amie was happy. I think she went from an extremely abusive relationship to someone that loved her and embraced her and made her feel amazing. And she was just living her life, but she just couldn't get used to that attention. She said when they would go somewhere, for her, like, her being a doctor or her having a podcast or whatever, she would get invited to certain places, and people would see Drew and think Amie was there with Drew, but it was the other way around. Drew was there with Amie. That was her guest, and she didn't like the negative feedback. So Amie called off their engagement not long after they got engaged. But just 16 months later, Amie got back in touch with Drew because she missed him and she loved him, and he felt the same way. So they planned to meet on Valentine's Day, 2020. And that night on Valentine's Day, Amie celebrated with her single friends. It was like single girls, and they were gonna have this great night, and they were just gonna be single and go out and take pictures. And it was a wonderful night for Amie. By the next day, on February 15th, Amie would be found dead. This was absolutely tragic. Amie was thrown 20 feet off of her balcony, and her cause of death was injury from a fall and strangulation. Now, as we all know, for someone to strangle someone, 9 times out of 10, that person knows their victim. They know exactly what they're doing. A lot of times it's crime of passion. They also found a syringe filled with nicotine enough to kill someone, but that was not used on Amie. They found like beads, like a struggle had taken place. They found broken glass. It was obvious somebody had broken in. Now, the cops at first didn't know who it was. It looks like someone had just broken in and that was it. But a lot of people said it was Gareth Pursehouse. He was obsessed with Amie and he had been stalking her. And when police looked into the background of their relationship, they saw she had put restraining orders against him. They saw that he was constantly stalking her, constantly wondering where she was, showing up places. And not too long before that, in October of 18, Amie had called the cops because she had saw trespassers on the property. So I think that Gareth was either planning this, stalking Amie, maybe watching her social media, finding out where she was, waiting for her to come home, because there was some type of struggle the night of Valentine's Day of 2020 with Amie and the person that murdered her. Gareth and Amie had a very violent relationship. He even one time threw her out of the car on the freeway and left her there stranded. They were constantly fighting. And one time, years after they broke up, she went to China. She went on this trip. And when she got back home, she told one of her friends, hey, I think Gareth broke into my apartment. And he says, what do you mean? And she's like, all my photo albums are gone and my computer's not working. So her friend comes over and things are missing, and Amie's computer was completely wiped. I mean, it was done. And remember, like I told y'all earlier, Gareth was a computer genius. He was very savvy on computers. He was a computer guy. So Amie thinks it was him, because if somebody broke into your apartment to steal things, they wouldn't steal a photo album and wipe a computer out. They would steal things that are significant, and they would probably take the computer with them, not just wipe it out. So she figured that it was Gareth. I don't know why photo albums. Maybe it was photo albums of them, or I don't know. But Gareth also thought that Amie was waving Drew in his face. And I mean, in my opinion, it wasn't. Amie was just in a relationship with a comedian. Gareth tried out to be a comedian. He would go on open mic nights and he would try to become a successful comedian, and it just wasn't happening. I actually watched one of his stand-ups and it was not good. But at least he tried. If you want to do something, you try. If you don't make it, then you don't make it, but you always say that you tried. Another thing that Gareth would do is he would, curse out Amie or get mad at her, break into her house, and the next day, confess his love to her and others. I mean, this was a clearly unstable person, and he was clearly in love with Amie. It was a roller coaster of emotions for Gareth. He was up and down constantly, just not stable. But about a month before Amie's murder, on January 16th of 2020, Amie was invited to the XBiz Awards, and she was on the red carpet, looked absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. I think a woman with jet black hair and bright red lipstick, if she could rock it, I think it looks amazing. She looked absolutely gorgeous. She was doing her thing, she was posing, she was smiling. Well, somebody kind of moved out the way, and she saw that Gareth was there photographing the event, and she freaked out. She walked off, and as she walked off the red carpet, he's coming for her, and he starts reciting all these text messages from 10 years ago between them, and screams, "You ruined my life, you bitch." Now, Amie at this time, even though she's terrified, she goes into this therapist mode, like, oh my God, because he drops to the ground in a fetal position, just crying. And Amie actually comforts him. And I know me as a person, I would comfort the person I love because I'm a compassionate person. You want to help them. You don't want to just leave this person on the ground crying. Amie is trying to calm Gareth down. They go in a corner. She's like, let's talk, let's calm down, which is something that a lot of people would do. Some people wouldn't. They would just get freaked out, like, oh my God, I gotta get away from this person, because everybody was watching. Because we all know, whenever you go for the red carpet events, I mean, there's photographers there, there's celebrities there, everybody's watching you. So everyone saw this event taking place. So Amie did exactly as she would, because she was very compassionate and loving, and her therapist mode clicked in, and she was like, let's just figure this out. I don't know, I guess he went away, and he said, I still feel like we're together, we're still a couple, I still love you, I still have all these feelings for you, and I get jealous when other men are around you. And it was crazy, because they had been broken up, y'all, for 10 years. This is not a breakup that happened 6 months ago or even a year ago. 10 years, and he was still just pining for Amie. It's actually sad, because he just felt in his mind that he couldn't do better, couldn't get anybody. He was just stuck in this moment and loving Amie, who was very successful and beautiful, dating celebrities. So maybe he just felt that he wasn't good enough. And when the cops got a search warrant for Gareth's apartment, they found the same syringes of nicotine in his house. They found bloody clothes. They found marks on his arms, like he had been through some type of a battle. And the DNA under Amie's fingernails was the DNA of Gareth Pursehouse. Now, as we all know, DNA is bulletproof. It is absolutely bulletproof. And Amie actually told a lot of her friends, if something ever happens to me, it's Gareth. She didn't even go to the awards after party that night. She was so terrified of Gareth and what he would do next. And it's kind of crazy, and it's kind of scary, but that happens a lot of times, y'all. A lot of times, even though you think that you're safe, you're not. Someone could be watching you, and Amie felt that Gareth had full access to her 24/7, because he was so computer savvy. She's like, what if he has my location? What if he has my cell phone, and he can see exactly what I'm doing, who I'm talking to, and where I'm going to be, and when I'm home and when I'm not home, because it was scary. And that's when Amie gave her location to some of her friends, like, look, here's my location if something happens. And y'all, I agree with that. I think, just like me, I share my location. I think that y'all should share your location with someone, I'm serious, with someone, because you never know when you're going to be in the position where you can't let someone know where you are. And it's very scary. So y'all should always choose someone to share your location with. For me, it's my children. We should all share a location with someone in case something does happen to us. My final thought, I always come to y'all with my final thought. Gareth Pursehouse was found guilty and received life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder of Dr. Amie Harwick. And I'm telling y'all right now, domestic violence is real. It can happen to you. And a lot of people, I think they said it takes 7 times for a woman or a man, because anybody can get abused, anybody, to leave that person, to finally say, I've had enough and I'm done. I cannot keep getting hit on. I cannot keep getting punched or thrown out cars like Amie. I can't do it anymore. They finally move on. But for Amie, she did that. She stepped out of the relationship, and it's still happening. She still lost her life. A beautiful woman's life was cut short due to someone that was overly obsessed with her and could not get over her. And when Gareth screamed, "You ruined my life, Amie," in my opinion, he thought in his mind, I can't move on because of you. I can't find another woman because of you. I feel that everything that he was depressed about, because clearly he wasn't stable and he was depressed, I think everything that was coming down on him, he blamed Amie. And it's pretty sad, because I think that in a relationship, if you decide not to be with someone, I think it should be just break it off. A lot of times people need a couple of months or maybe a year to get over someone. But if you still aren't over someone after 10 years, there's a problem. I mean, you need to maybe go get some therapy, maybe figure out that you are a good person and you do deserve to be happy. But for Amie, she took all the right steps. And as a victim of domestic violence, I know exactly how it happens. I know exactly how it goes down. I also know the fear that a person can put into you, knowing that they can at any moment snap and hurt you. I feel that people that have gone through domestic violence or are going through it now really seek the help that they need. And if you are in a domestic violence relationship, if you do feel that you are in love with the person but you can't leave, yes, you can. Trust me, you can get out, you can walk away, and you don't need that. You don't deserve that. I don't care what they say you did. I don't care if they say you looked the wrong way or you answered the phone too soon. It doesn't matter. No one deserves to be a victim of domestic violence or emotional abuse. People need to seek help. And if you do, if you are a person that feels that you have to hit someone or scream at someone, maybe get some therapy. Try to move on with it and try to realize that the person you love doesn't deserve to be a victim of yours. And I also want to tell y'all that my heart goes out to Amie's family and all of her friends. She had a boatload of friends, and they also said that Amie, just like me, was very obsessed with Hollywood murders, just like me, just like, the Wonderland murders or Dorothy Stratton, the Phil Hartman, like where a lot of people are obsessed with it. But the bad thing is Amie became a Hollywood murderer at such a young age, 38 years old, to be tragically taken away from everyone. She was so loved and so beautiful and died in such a horrible way. But there is some type of statue of Amie. I don't know where it is, but her friends did say that they were going to make a statue of her and kind of talk about victims of domestic violence because it needs to be stopped. And I hope that all of you enjoyed my video today. I hope that y'all like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press on that notification button so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie, the Cajun Crime Queen. I want all of you to stay safe. And remember, today is Valentine's Day. It's very significant for some people. So I want all of y'all to stay loved and feel safe and always be aware of your surroundings and know that I love you, and thank you so much for supporting me. And as always, I hope y'all have a good night. And again, happy Valentine's Day. Bye.